Some would call it high maintenance, I call it having self-respect. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm here today with another style video. So you guys are constantly sending me messages on YouTube comments, Instagram DMs, all about my style, and the most common question I get is, Freddie, how do you always look so polished and put together all of the time? My style has been such a big part of my life for such a long time, and it honestly is purely just for me. It makes me feel confident, it's how I express myself, and ever since I was a really little girl, you could ask any member of my family, I was a little prissy princess, and that really has kind of grown with me to adulthood. I always like my outfits to look coordinated, and I love to look polished and put together. That does not mean to say that I think that is how everybody should dress, not at all. It's just what I like to do, and lots of you guys have been asking me, so today I wanted to share with you my top style tips on how I achieve that look. So let's get going. If you're new here today, please don't forget to subscribe down below and turn post notifications on so you're the first to know when I post a new video. And let's begin. So the first step to always looking polished and put together is your personal grooming. It literally does not matter what you are wearing. You could be wearing the most fabulous, expensive designer outfit. If the rest of you is a mess, then you may as well just flush the outfit down the toilet. So those people that know me or watch me regularly will know that I rarely don't have my nails done. I rarely have like greasy or even just messy, unkempt hair. Some would call it high maintenance, I call it having self-respect. First of all, let's just talk about nails. So I always have a really clean, like neutral colour on my nails. I rarely have red or like even bright pink. I usually have something really subtle like a really pale pink, something quite natural, or a French manicure. Always looks really classy and elegant. And it also means that generally it always goes with what you're wearing. So you're never going to put something on and think, oh my god, this clashes so badly with my nails. It always kind of goes, and that's ultimately the look that works the best. Next, let's talk hair. So I really do think that hair is such a huge part of your overall look. As a rule, I'd say that you always want your hair to look as natural and healthy as possible. So colour-wise, in general, I would say that natural looks best on almost everybody. I do get my hair highlighted, but I get it done very subtly and naturally, and I am a natural blonde, which means that I don't get bad root regrowth, and I know how expensive it can be to keep getting your hair recoloured, so I'd say in general it's best to keep your hair as close to its natural colour as possible. In terms of hairstyle, I think it's really nice if you look like you've just had a really natural classic blow dry. Everyone always thinks I've had my hair blow dried, and I never ever have. I always do it myself, and it's so quick and easy. I've done so many YouTube videos and tutorials showing you how to achieve this look, so I'll link some of them down below for you guys to watch, but it's super easy, and even just spending an extra 20 minutes to half an hour on your hair can totally transform and perfect your look. Before I go out, if I have any kind of skin on show, mostly in the summer of course, I make sure that my body is moisturised, and also if I'm fake tanning, I just make sure that I'm doing it evenly and there's no patches and streaks, because that can totally just ruin your entire look. I cannot stand orange skin. It's just the worst look in the world. I was orange for many years as a teenager, and it is not a good look, and I will not return to those days. And the last thing when it comes to personal grooming is of course makeup. I would always say less is more when it comes to makeup and achieving that really classic put together look. As you guys know, I generally try and stay away from any really bold eye looks or bold lip colours or really strong contour, because unless you are a makeup artist, sometimes if you're going too heavy on your face, it rarely looks good, to be honest, in like natural light. Although I do think that you should wear a little bit of makeup and not go out totally barefaced, because again, that can kind of give off the impression that you don't really care. It's a bit like you just got out of bed and you didn't make any effort. So I do think a little bit of makeup is perfect. I'd always recommend a light to medium coverage foundation, because I don't think a thick and cakey base looks good on anyone. If you do have many spots or blemishes, I'd recommend going in with a concealer on those instead, as opposed to covering your entire face. I like natural brows, natural eyes, and of course I do wear lipstick. I think it's the finishing touch to an outfit, but I do always try to match my lipstick with the outfit that I'm wearing. It's the really subtle details like that that really bring your whole look together. You guys know I have done countless makeup tutorials on how I achieve my perfect makeup look. I even did one 2 weeks ago using all affordable drugstore products. And finally, the finishing touch to your personal grooming and your overall polished look is of course perfume. I'm only going to talk about this briefly, but I do think every girl and guy should have a signature fragrance. I have 20, so it's not really signature, but I'm working on it. I think something really fresh and delicate rather than something really strong and overpowering is best. So that's everything when it comes to personal grooming. It may sound like a lot to remember at first, but when it becomes part of your everyday or every week routine, then it just feels normal. So the second tip is all about the accessories. So in general, I pretty much have one word: minimal. I do not like to go over the top on anything when it comes to sunglasses, hats, scarves, jewellery, watches, even shoes and bags. Or sometimes I do like a little bit of a flamboyant bag, but if you look at my designer bag collection, for example, you see that most of my bags are quite classic, quite plain, because those kinds of bags are more timeless, they go with more outfits and you end up getting actually more wear out of them. So let's begin by talking about jewellery. I wear absolutely minimal jewellery and I actually wear the same thing every single day. I rarely change it up. So you guys will always see me wearing my Tiffany pendant. I wear this every single day. I just think it looks so classic. I do like to wear a few rings because I think it just adds a nice little sparkle to your hands, although again I do keep these very minimal. I think again, like with makeup, when it comes to jewellery, less is more. Exactly the same with bracelets. You will either see me wearing my Tiffany bracelet or my Daniel Wellington cuff. I don't usually wear them together, I usually just wear one because it just looks really sleek and elegant when you just have one really thin bracelet on your wrist. I think it looks really beautiful. Next, I of course have to talk about wearing the perfect watch to complement your look and your outfits. As you guys probably know, I have a long-term partnership with the watch brand Daniel Wellington. I just absolutely love the brand. I love how their watches are so minimal and classic. They literally suit people of all ages and all styles. I wear them, my friends wear them, my mum wears one, my boyfriend, even my granddad wears one. My favourite Daniel Wellington watch that I wear all the time is the classic Petite Melrose in rose gold. I love this so much because it's really pretty and dainty. I'm not like a big, chunky, flashy watch kind of girl. I think it looks so much nicer to have something sleek and elegant and dainty on the wrist. But I also think that the rose gold mesh strap does have a little hint of glamour, which I love. And the perfect thing about Daniel Wellington watches is you can actually interchange the straps. So you can change it depending on your outfit or your mood. So I actually usually alternate between the rose gold mesh strap and the white leather strap, depending on what I'm wearing, depending on my vibe that day. And I love that I can just easily change them around to go with whatever I'm wearing that day. I just think a gorgeous watch like this is the perfect addition to an outfit. It just looks so classic and timeless, and it just really is like another really pretty subtle finishing touch. And the good news is that Daniel Wellington are having a promotion on right now where when you buy any watch you can get a free watch strap to go with it. So it's kind of like having two watches for the price of one. I will link their website and also my watch down below in the info box for you guys, and don't forget you can also use my code Freddy15 for an extra 15% off everything. Next, when it comes to accessories, is shoes and bags. So in general, I always recommend that shoes and bags is where you put most of your money rather than just your clothes. And that's because one bag or one pair of boots can carry you through literally hundreds of different types of outfits, and those outfits could all be really cheap, affordable clothes that you've bought, but then you just have this one expensive bag or pair of shoes that really elevates the whole look and makes it all look more expensive and luxury, which I know not everyone cares about and you don't need to, but some of us do, and this is for us, okay? So just to give you guys a couple of examples, this is a Miss Selfridge dress. It was £30, but if you pair it with this beautiful leather Coach bag, for example, it gives it a totally different look. And a bag like this, and even my other Coach bag, my Prada bag, can be worn with literally hundreds of different outfits. You almost need never spend a lot of money on your clothes ever again, so you're kind of saving yourself money. It's basically an investment. Just to give you guys another example, here is my gorgeous little H&M trench coat, which of course is not expensive because it's H&M, but pair it with my gorgeous Louis Vuitton pochette Matisse and these amazing loafers, which are not designer, they're from Aldo, but they were like £60–70, so still quite expensive. And before you know it, this coat looks like it could be Reiss or Club Monaco or Max Mara or something like that. It no longer looks like a really affordable cheap high street coat. Also wanted to quickly show you guys this amazing bag that I got from Brand Alley. It's basically a Chloe dupe, but it is amazing quality. It was originally £100. It was on Brand Alley for £50, but it is real leather. It's a beautiful design. It's really well made. It looks expensive. It kind of actually does look like the Chloe bag. So you can keep your eye out for stuff like this that kind of, not like total replicas, not fake bags, but definitely bags that are inspired and have that kind of luxury look, but are still nice and well made. And then just briefly, it's the exact same with your footwear. Putting a little bit of extra money into your shoes can just make your whole look more refined. Now, I don't actually buy designer shoes. I have one pair of designer shoes, but I do kind of go for the more higher end of the high street. So for example, these are Office. These are their leather loafers. I've had these for years and they just look like absolute perfection because they are actually well made. And then I also just got these incredible leather boots from Zara. These were about £70, so quite expensive for high street shoes, but they actually look so designer. And then finally, there are a few accessories that can just add that finishing, refining touch to your look. First of all, scarves. It doesn't have to be Burberry, but I do think a nice winter cashmere scarf in a neutral colour that you can wear with every single outfit in the winter, that you can wear year after year after year, is totally worth the investment and will just really add that elegant polished touch to the look. Or in the summer, as my lovely friend over here is demonstrating, a cute little necktie looks so stylish. This one was about £6 from H&M, but it has this really luxury like Hermes reminiscent style, so it looks really elegant. And then of course a pair of sunglasses. My favourite sunglasses of all time are my Tiffany cat eye sunglasses. I've had them for about 4 years and they are just so classic, totally worth the money. They're about 200 and something pounds, but I've worn them almost every single day that it's been sunny since then, so totally worth it. But there are also so many amazing high street options. These, for example, from River Island, which I just took to the Maldives and I have been loving. They're these amazing tortoiseshell cat eyes. It really is mostly about design. So the next factor is of course wardrobe, and it's by far the most important. I don't want people to think that you need to dress in one certain type of style to achieve this look. It doesn't have to be like that Kate Middleton, Meghan Markle look, because I personally don't think I dress like them at all. I have a few things in my wardrobe that I'm sure they would wear, something similar. But altogether I do like my outfits to be fun. I like to wear stuff like this that has a kind of fun, cute, sexy 60s vibe. In the summer when I'm on holiday, I love to go for like boho inspired outfits. So even though I do try out different styles, there are still rules that I follow so that on the whole my entire look is still always put together and polished. So the first tip, and you guys are just going to guess it straight away, is to stick to a colour scheme, and I would always say that neutral colours are really the way to go. I rarely wear bright colours. If I do, it's going to be in the form of an accessory or like a statement piece. It's not going to be the full outfit, and it's not something that I do regularly at all. So in general, the colours that I wear are creams and whites and stones and beiges, and then of course my signature colour is pink, which I always inject into my outfits somehow, but it is a pale, subtle, soft pink, not something bright and garish. It also makes putting outfits together so much easier when all of your stuff practically goes together. I've bought a couple of more like statement things in the past, like something like a really nice sunny yellow, and I found that I never wore it because I just couldn't pair it with stuff. And I had to buy stuff to pair with it. Whereas if you always have your colour scheme in mind, everything always goes together and it's really fluid and cohesive, and you just end up looking altogether better all of the time. Another thing I like to do that I've talked about before is mixing classic wardrobe staples with trend pieces and not going to one or the other. So for example, if you're going to go with the really classic coat and the really classic bag, you could maybe wrap like a chain print scarf around the handle, around your neck, just to inject a little bit of stylish trend into the whole outfit. Alternatively, for the summer, you could wear something like this, which is a really beautiful, classic, timeless lace summer dress, and then just jazz it up with a pair of pink Western boots, because the Western trend is huge, and altogether you're still looking really classic, but you do have that little stylish flair. Another really subtle way that I would mix up trends and classic is just with something that was a classic style, but maybe a trend colour. Of course, I'm really lucky that my signature colour is pink, and pink is very trendy right now, but you can get these Hobbs trench coats, for example, in all different colours, and that's a really nice way to put your own personal spin on a classic piece. In general, when it comes to clothes that I think look the most put together and polished, I'd say that high necks in the winter are just so chic looking, so clean, and they just look really good. In more summery styles, again, clean lines, feminine details that are quite subtle and not too much. A trench coat is just an absolute staple that you can just throw over anything, and it's going to instantly make your outfit look so much more polished and put together and elegant and sophisticated. This is of course my beloved Burberry. I've wanted this ever since I was 15 years old and I finally got it, and I'm complete. But just to show you guys a cheaper alternative, this is River Island, and I think this is such an incredible kind of dupe for the Burberry. This is about £90, so still quite expensive, but I personally think worth it because these things do not go out of style. I've done countless videos about classic outfits, so I don't want to bore you any longer, but I do just want to add that the fit of things is really important too. I think when you are going for a really polished, put together look, you do want everything to fit you really well. So definitely dressing for your body type. I'm not the expert on body type, so I'd say just do your own research for your own body type. And I also think it's really important to strike a good balance between things being really fitted and things having a loose fit. In general, I'd say that somewhere in the middle is always perfect. You don't want your clothes to be too tight fitting on you because it can kind of look a bit borderline trashy sometimes. And you also don't want them to be too loose fitting because it can look a little bit slouchy and a bit like slobby. Obviously, I do still like to wear tight stuff and loose stuff. So for example, if I was wearing like a really kind of flowy, nice summer blouse, I might wear it with like some cute tight shorts or like some tight jeans, for example. And vice versa, if I was wearing like a skater skirt or something that kind of stuck out, then I would pair it with something quite tight fitting on top, just like a turtleneck like this. Also, I think that tailoring is something that is not spoken about enough. I think people have the impression that going to get your clothes tailored is something, that's really expensive to do, that only like really rich people do, but it's actually not the case at all. If you guys just Google local tailor, I have a lady near me that's amazing that does it really, really cheap, and it can honestly really transform the way something looks on you because not all clothes are made for every body type. So tailoring is definitely something to consider. It's a relatively minor expense that can make a huge, huge difference because ill-fitting clothes are really not a good look at all. It's a major giveaway that you are not put together, you are not polished, and when your clothes fit you properly, it makes such the world of difference. So tip number 4 is keeping up your presentation. There's honestly no point in doing the whole shebang, getting like the great outfits, if they're not properly taken care of. So first of all, we have to give a big no to creases. I know people do not like ironing. Ironing is not something that's fun, although actually I do get kind of a satisfaction from ironing. Personally, I think it's quite therapeutic, but I know most people do not enjoy ironing. I know people that do not iron their clothes, or they purposely buy clothes that don't look like they need to be ironed. Although of course sometimes you iron things, you put them in your wardrobe, and if it's a little bit squished, sometimes by the time you take it out it's creased again and you don't want to like get the whole ironing board out and do the whole palaver. So I actually steam my clothes with a handheld steamer just as often as I iron my clothes. I just find it's really quick and easy. I like to use this one, it's the Philips Steam and Go. I love how it has a really like sleek and stylish design, and it's portable as well, so I always take these on holiday with me. And you literally just chuck your dress, for example, on a hanger, pop some water in the steamer, plug it in, and you can just do this, give it a quick once over before you go out, which is perfect. So that's all you need to know when it comes to creases. Next we're going to talk about getting the bubbles off those pieces of clothing that are mostly knitwear, sometimes other things as well, that after a little bit of wear the fabric starts to bubble a little bit and it looks really, really scruffy and awful. When I was 17 and started working at Abercrombie & Fitch, in the winter we used to wear these really beautiful navy cable knit wool jumpers, but they did used to bobble a lot. So before or after our shift we used to go into the back room and there were a team of people that had these, and this is called a bobble off, and this is basically like a shaver for knitwear. So we would just whip our jumpers off and pop them on the table and just go over them with this bobble off. And you do have to be really careful, you don't want to press down too hard onto the item of clothing because you don't want it to get any holes or go really thin and threadbare. But with a light hand, these are amazing at getting off bobbles and making some of your knitwear look a little bit newer. And then finally, if you are a pet owner or you're someone with hair that just seems to fall out and cling to everything, then you need to get yourself some lint rollers. You can get these from Primark, from H&M, they're like £2, and they are absolute lifesavers. All this really is a roll of sticky tape that you can just roll over yourself, and all of the hair and all of the dust and any kind of like threads or particles sticking to your clothes will stick to this instead and make you look super duper fresh and ready to go. And then the final part of this video is inspired by one of my favourite Blair Waldorf quotes: "Fashion knows not of comfort, all that matters is the face that you show the world." And that means it's time for the little pep talk I love to give you guys about feeling confident and comfortable in your own skin, and of course in your outfits. If the impression that you want to give off is someone who is polished and put together, that doesn't always just mean on the exterior, but it's the interior as well. So how you almost conduct yourself is really important too. You could be wearing like the bee's knees of outfits, but if you're shy or nervous or embarrassed or insecure and you're walking like with your head down and your shoulders hunched, feeling a bit nervous, then it really isn't a good look. You always have to be standing tall, chin up high, confident, without a care in the world, and then everything. You could be wearing anything and it would look 10 times better. It's exactly the same with posture. How you stand and how you kind of position your body makes such a difference to how you look to other people. You do have to teach yourself good posture. I always used to sit hunched like this, like as a teenager, because you know, you're just like a teenager and you just want to hunch. My mum was always like, sit up straight, sit up straight. Now, if I'm going out to a meeting or something like that, or a lunch with my friends, obviously if I'm at home, then I do slump around. If I'm out and about, then of course I sit with a straight back, shoulders back, you know, legs crossed. Don't sit like a man with your legs open. Sorry if that offends anyone, but like, no. So altogether, it really is just about the air that you give off, the self-confidence, even if you don't have it. Like I always say, fake it till you make it. I was not always confident in myself, but I've kind of just pushed myself to be, and now I really am comfortable in my own skin. And as you guys know, if people don't like my outfits, I just couldn't care less. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. So that's the end of the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I gave you a few guidelines into how to get that really polished, elegant style, no matter really what your style is. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye!